And I was just on mute. So now you can hear me. Now you can hear me, hopefully. Okay, so we are doing the end of week recap. I'm sorry about earlier, all the technical difficulties I've been having. I know a lot of y'all are probably going to just catch this on the replay because I've been having so many sound issues. I've been starting, stopping, and everything of that nature. But that's okay. We're going to struggle and finally get this done. You can hear Mila in the background. All right, so this is the end of soap recap. We're going to get, before I get started, I just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you for all, watching the lives, watching the reviews, commenting, sharing, liking the videos. Thank you so much. If I don't let you know I appreciate you, I'm letting you know now that I truly do appreciate you. um what's new? I have a few new things to my channel that I want to get through really quickly before we get into the recap. One is I want to do like a watch with me, where we all get into where I'll pull up an old episode of a classic soap, like a classic episode, and we can all sit down and watch it together. Hi Tony, thank you so much for joining. And we can all watch it together and enjoy it. And then shorts, I am in the YouTube program, and so now I qualify to be paid for my shorts that I do. So I'll be dropping those once a day or every other day. I want to do more lives as well. Sunday spoilers. I started with that last week. I'm going to continue with that, just dropping the spoilers every week. Now, those will probably just be straight to video. It won't be a live or anything like that, of that nature. Sundays, where's my soap star? Just for all of those that we, our soap stars that we used to love, just getting into that. Of course, reviews of soaps and others, which is just other TV shows that I really enjoy watching, reviewing those as well. A panel, so I would like to do a panel with some of you guys, like whenever I'm doing a live review over a soap, instead of it always being recorded, just doing a live review and having you guys join in on that. And of course, this Friday we'll be doing our live GH review. So if you watch General Hospital and you want to join that live panel review, just let me know. And depending on how many people want to join, because a lot of people don't like to get on camera, and I understand that you don't have to get on camera, but we will, have to have you speak. So if that's not something you want to do, but you do want to speak, just not be like live like I am now, you just want to have your voice on, that's fine as well. But if you watch GH and you want to do that, if you just let me know, and I'll be telling you about that all through the week to remind you that's going on, for those of you who watch GH. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get into this end of the week recap and everything that we have going on. So we're going to start off with General Hospital. So on General Hospital this week, there's been a lot of things that we saw happen, and one is the whole Willow and Harmony scene. So Willow did finally have her baby, because they need to go ahead and have, for her to have the child, so that she would be able to have they needed to use everything that was in the placenta umbilical cord, so that Willow would be able to live, because she has the stage 4 leukemia, and that was their best option, since they did not have a bone marrow, like Nina was not a match. And so after Willow has her child, she actually has this encounter with Harmony, where it's, I guess she dies for a moment, and so once she dies, she's able to see Harmony. And because she's seeing Harmony, she's like, what's going on, what's happening now? I don't know where Harmony was from, but I mean, she was dressed in all black, and I feel like, where are you taking her? And a lot of people said in the comments, like, on one hand you have Willow saying, what's going on, she fought so hard to keep her baby, and then on another hand you have her willingly following Harmony, and just leaving her child behind. So it was a weird the way they did that. But she ends up hearing Michael, because he's praying, Nina's praying, all these people are praying, and she decides not to go with Harmony, so that she stays with them. So that was the whole thing with Willow. And honestly, guys, there was no more movement in this soap line besides Willow meeting Harmony and almost dying. And I don't know where Harmony is, but I feel like it's not heaven, but almost dying. There was no more movement in this soap line. So then we go over here to Ava, Austin and Mason. Okay, so Ava and Austin they have nice chemistry, right? And so now they're trying to, I guess they're going to be the new couple for them, because we've seen them interact a lot lately. And remember, Mason was there the night Ava was attacked by the hook killer. So she's starting to think like, what did you have any, not that he had anything to do with it, but she knows that he's bothering Austin because she saw him the night she was attacked. He was bothering Austin, and then she comes into his office and he's bothering Austin. So she knows there's something going on. And so Ava kind of threatens Mason, that if he doesn't leave Austin alone, she's going to go to the police and tell them, he was there that night as well. And so because of that, I guess she is in his radar now, as far as someone to watch out for, And so she's someone that he's going to watch out for, to make sure that she doesn't do anything to hurt his family. But so I don't know exactly where this storyline is going to go, but they say trouble is lurking, and Austin is actually going to have to stand up for Ava and try to put his foot down when it comes to Mason, because they want him back in the family business. I don't know if it's a legit family or if it was just like a mafia family and he was in it. He was the doctor, but they want him back in the family business, and he's like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. But I am interested in this storyline, because I feel like for the longest we saw this developing, and it was like when he was in his relationship with Maxie, I don't know why, but it never went anywhere. So now we can finally see it starting to go somewhere, and maybe they were waiting on, the Ava of it all, so that it could, her without Nicholas, it could have these two interacting with each other. But I'm not sure, but we will see what's going to happen on this one. I'm really interested in storyline to see how it goes, as long as they keep legs under it and keep it moving, and don't have like long breaks in between. Like if we could get something from this every week, or at least every other week, 2 or 3 episodes every, in a 2-week period, just so you can stay interested in it. Because when it takes like a month for each time you see him, you kind of forget, because Mason's not on here that often. So then we see Elizabeth and Finn, and Elizabeth has come clean with everything. And I do like the fact that she did, she just came clean and just told Finn, hey, this is what's been going on with me. She confessed everything about how Nicholas, she went to him when she was in a tough place, and how he has her, she told she went to him when she was in a tough place mentally, because of everything that she had found out that she had done and her parents had done to her. And Nicholas pretty much, he used their friendship, and he used that she was in that type of place to benefit him. And so she saw that he had Esme kidnapped, and so she wanted to help him, because of course he is a longtime friend, so she wanted to help him. And in doing so, she was Esme's medical care while Nicholas held her prisoner. And because, she tried to think of a way out of it, but it was like everything just kept snowballing and snowballing. Finn saw the prenatal vitamins, and then he was questioning where Esme was, so she had to tell the lie about being pregnant with Nicholas' child. So everything just kept snowballing until Esme finally appeared, and it was like, okay, like it's finally over. So now that Elizabeth has told Finn, she wants to actually go to the police and just turn herself in. And Finn is just like, I don't think that's the move. I don't think that's what you should be doing. But that's what she wants to do. She wants to finally just turn herself in, because she feels so guilty about this, and she's like, I just can't live with this, what I've done, and I can't live with this any longer. So we'll see. I don't think she should turn herself in. And I'm sure now Finn will keep this secret, and that's something she told him, I didn't want you to have to do, but we'll see how that goes. So then we see Laura, Nicholas, as well as, excuse me, let me get my headphones out of the way. We see Laura, Nicholas, as well as Spencer. And so Laura has been trying to bridge this gap, but like a lot of people have. Victor, for all, for everything that he's also been trying to bridge this gap between Nicholas as well as Spencer. Like anyone who sees it wants them to make peace. But Spencer is, he's too hurt about what his father has done to him to even see it that way. He just does not. And so he is not wanting to make the peace that he should with his father, and we know he's wanting to go for full custody of the baby. Now, Nicholas and Laura did not know he felt this way until they went to Britt's memorial, but they were too late because Nicholas had everything going on, trying to get Elizabeth's mom to do brain work on Esme, put her under and make her forget all of her past. That they were late because Elizabeth, he confronted Elizabeth because she had told him, she didn't want her mother involved and she's going to go to police. And so Spencer already knows. He was like, I'm sure, grandmother, if you're late, it had something to do with my father. And it did. And so because of that, Spencer is just fed up. He's fed up with his dad. He doesn't want anything else to do with him. And he lets him know that I'm going to go for custody of the baby. Like that. And that's just what it is. I'm going to go for custody of the my baby brother or sister. And because Nicholas is who he is, he was like, no, that's my child. And you're a child. How could you can't even raise you can't raise a baby. And he was like, well, I mean, I'm sure I could do a better job than what you did. And so Nicholas is just like, I will use everything in my arsenal to stop this. You're not going to take my child away. And so Spencer doesn't care at this point. He doesn't care what Nicholas thinks. He doesn't care how Nicholas feels about it. He's like, no, I'm going to do this. And that's just it. I'm going to take this child away from you. And on top of that, Ava had given Spencer the web address, so he was able to see the video that Nicholas made confessing to pushing Esme off the parapet. Even though he didn't do it, he did it for Ava. Ava left that part out of it, but she gave Spencer the information so he can weaponize that and essentially blackmail Nicholas. He tells him, you're going to give me the baby whether you want to or not. And so he starts saying things that came right out of Nicholas' mouth on the video. And so Nicholas realizes, oh, so you have the video. And so you're trying to blackmail me. And Laura tries to mend this, but it is what it is. It's over with now. Because Nicholas feels betrayed, and so he goes over to Ava, and we're going to see about that Monday. My thoughts on all of that is just that I like the Spencer storyline. I like what he's doing and where he's going with this. I think it's an interesting storyline. He acts really well, and you could tell that they're setting him up to be like not as bad as like a Sonny, because even though Sonny is good, he still does some things like a Sonny, Cyrus, a Victor. They're set because they have to have the younger generation come up into their own. So I think that's where they're really pivoting Spencer towards, and I'm not mad at that. So then we move on and we see Esme, because Nicholas had went to Esme and he wanted her to sign over her rights essentially to the baby. And she was thinking about doing it because this is not Esme of old that knew better, not to do it. This is the new Esme and she doesn't know any better. And so because of that, she's willing to sign over her rights. And so Heather sees this and she's like, what are you doing? No, you can't sign your rights over that. That would be horrible. And so she's telling her not to do it. And Esme's like, well, he said it's just until I get out of here and then he would give the baby back. And she was like, Nicholas gave her this, packet of for her signature, the letters for her to sign. And so she was like, so Nicholas is your father? No, the Cassadines are too evil, too wicked. Don't do this. But Esme feels like this is her best option and her only choice. So that leaves Heather to go to Ryan, who she had told Esme stay away from. But she goes to him and she tells Ryan, listen, the Cassadines are trying to take our grandbaby away from us, and we need to figure out what we're going to do about this, because if we don't fix this, then he's going to be able to take, the baby away. And because of that, he's just really they're trying to she tells him also, the cops are onto you. They realize who Maggie is and that she has something to do with you. And so now that they're onto you, they're really trying to think they're really trying to get under, excuse me, they're really trying to find out a way to get the baby away from us, and they want to take the baby over now. And so she's like, we need to go on a run. And he was like, well, this is all with his eyes because he can't let on that he's talking. And so she was like, well, of course we're going to take Esme. So I like this storyline. I would be interested to see if they'll actually do this, if Esme will actually go with them, but we'll see, y'all. So then we go to my favorite storyline. Y'all already know I'm ready for this wedding. It starts on Friday. Again, if you're a General Hospital fan and you want to be a part of the panel, just let me know and we can do that. But it's the whole Curtis storyline because Portia, who's at the bottom, has not revealed that, who's at the bottom left, had Trina, who is at the right bottom. And Trina is Curtis' daughter, but he doesn't know that because she told him that, that wasn't his child. She had an affair with him, but she didn't, but even years ago when she had the affair with him, she didn't admit that she had a child by him. Sorry about that. She didn't admit that she had a child by him, so he has no clue that he's a father, right? So, but Jordan has figured this out. Jordan is in the upper right corner. She's figured out that he actually is the father, and because she's been asking so many questions, Stella has actually figured it out as well. Oh, that he is the father of Trina. And so now they're all having to hold this secret. They don't want to, but they're all having to hold this secret because they don't want to hurt Curtis and Portia. Stella, I thought for a minute there, was going to tell, but because she's so happy, Portia is so happy, she actually feels guilty about possibly telling her, so she held it in as well. But what they did say they were going to do was get a DNA test, and once they get a DNA test on everything, they were going to go ahead and once they get a DNA test, I'm assuming that they're going to reveal it. So I don't think this wedding is going to happen, but y'all know I'm going live for the wedding and I'm really excited. I hope that, cause not that, everything's going to blow up on Portia, but it is nice to see a soap actually have nice things, have a explosive episode going on. And I like these people on the screen, and they don't get a lot of airtime. So it's nice that when they have a storyline, it's a good storyline and we can follow up on that. And that was all for General Hospital. I'm just looking for, hi Sally, thank you so much for joining Mila's in the living room. So it's a good storyline and I'm actually looking forward to them going forward with that. Then we go over here to Bold and the Beautiful, and y'all, it wasn't much on Bold. It honestly, it wasn't that much to it. We see that Taylor has been wanting to turn herself in. She's not in the position, like she wants to turn herself in because Sheila's on the loose, and she hates the fact that it's because of her that Sheila is able to be free, right? So she's like, I want to turn myself in. I want to be able to protect you guys. But if she does, then they try to tell her, you're going to end up going to prison and Sheila will be free. And so, plus I'm like, Taylor, if you really wanted to turn yourself in, why have you not done it so far? What's taking you so long? If you really want to turn yourself in, you would go ahead and do it. Hi Pam, thank you so much for joining. You would go ahead and do it. You would turn yourself in, but she's not. She just keeps talking about it. But on this last episode, Steffi says, we really need you to think about like a way that we could stop Sheila that doesn't have you doing that. Now, I think this storyline is going to develop and that we're going to find out that Liam actually was the one that shot Bill, because he has vivid memories of it as well. If it isn't Liam, it's somebody else. But I honestly don't think Taylor was the one that shot that actually shot Bill. But we'll see how all that plays out. Now, another storyline that's has developed is Taylor and Brooke's friendship, and a lot of y'all. Oh, thank you so much. I just finished General Hospital actually. Um, thank you so much. If you want to join the panel, if for General Hospital, if you want to join that panel, because I'll be going live Friday, and every day that they have the wedding of Curtis. If you want to join that panel, just let me know. But Brooke and Taylor have developed this friendship, and a lot of y'all think that they're going to go in a romantic way with this, but I honestly don't think so. I think it's just going to be them just being friends, but I don't know. We'll see. You never know with the soaps, but I just feel like they know, Bold and the Beautiful know their audience, knows their audience, and I don't think they're going to go that way. So then we go over here to Katie, Bill, as well as Sheila. So they all have gotten together because Katie came over to the house, and she was really close to getting Bill to turn Sheila in, but she could not commit to him that she wanted to be with him. And I don't blame Katie. Who would want to be with Bill when he's in love with your sister? Like, you're always second best. She's always going to be second best. So I don't blame her not wanting to be with Bill. But he had a glimmer of, okay, well, maybe I might do this, turn Sheila in, if you say you want to be with me. Is that what you're saying? But she had to tell him no. She had to tell him no. And again, I don't blame her for that. But Sheila saw this as well. And so she goes to Katie in private, and she tells Katie, leave Bill alone. And he's just like, and he's just telling her, she just tells him, leave Bill alone, because she doesn't want Bill to fall for Katie, Brooke, anyone, because if he does, then she risks the chance of going to prison. Even though Sheila honestly is not even wanting Bill like that. She says she loves him and she wants to be with him. I think Sheila's just talking herself into that, because honestly, we could see the chemistry between Sheila and Deacon, and he really has feelings for her, and he can't believe she, was able to convince Bill to be with her. And Sheila is just like, well, she doesn't want to mess up what she has going with Bill, because he was the reason she has her freedom. And if she messes that up, then she would have to go back to prison, because Bill would not tolerate her sneaking and dipping and doing whatever she wanted to do with Deacon. So I don't know, guys. We'll have to see what happens there. But I think at the end of all of this, whatever hold Sheila has on him, we did see it slip with Katie. Katie is with Carter, and I wish she would just stay with Carter, honestly. But I think, if we believe the spoilers, there's supposed to be some kind of more of a triangle between Bill, Sheila, and as well as Bill, Sheila, and Katie. But I don't know. So moving on to Days of Our Lives. This story, if you're not watching Days, it is a really good storyline. I know a lot of people are like, no, I'm not going to watch it because it has the devil and I don't want to see all of that. But besides that, it is a good storyline if you look at like the other stuff going on. So we see Marlena, Kayla, and Kate make it to, it's not heaven. It's in between. So they make it there, and they're greeted by Jordan, Susan, and Adrian, and they're all telling them, it's time for you to cross over. For Kate, she had to prove her case on why she should go to heaven. Kayla had to let Steve go, because they're like, just it's time for you to transition. And Marlena was concerned about Kate and Kayla, so Susan had to convince her they were fine. So they got them to sign these papers. You don't watch it like you used to. I mean, it's a good one. It's one that if I wasn't reviewing it, I'd probably binge it on like a Saturday or a Sunday. But so they have these papers that they need to sign. So they all sign them because they want to transition and go ahead and go to heaven. And once they sign these papers, Susan tells them, oh, but that wasn't Jordan, that wasn't Adrian, and that wasn't Jordan, Adrian, or and I'm not Susan. And it's actually like I believe it's going to end up being, because we saw they Marlena knows who it is, but we didn't see who it was. But it's gonna end up being like the devil or a demon, something of that nature. So I don't know, child. That's an acquired storyline, taste for a storyline. If you're into it, and a lot of people are, and some people are not. Yeah. Days of Our Lives goes supernatural sometimes with it. So then we see like this whole page is just the young actors. So Trip had left the storyline, but he's kind of come back now, right? So we see Johnny and so at the top we see Johnny, Wendy, and Trip, right? And so Johnny and Wendy, they try to have some kind of romance going on, right? But he has it's too complicated, because on the right underneath Johnny is Chanel in the black, and they almost kissed. And because of that, Wendy is just like, you clearly have something going on. You almost kissing caused problems with your sister. She doesn't want any part of this. She doesn't want to be a part of this, and it's messy. It's drama, and Wendy doesn't have that in her life. So you have Trip over here, who used to be, with Allie, but he was married to Allie, or yeah, I believe he was married to Allie, but he's just like, you know what? He let it go. And so Wendy is looking at Trip like he doesn't have all of this, but I'm sure she'll probably end up still wanting Johnny, but she's looking at Trip like, you don't have all this drama in your life. So I think there's going to be a romance between these two. And then Chanel and Allie. Chanel is in the black, Allie is at the bottom in the middle. They have this romance going on, right? Because they chose each other and everything. So they have this romance going on. But Allie is jealous of Johnny and Chanel, one, because they keep kissing, like not kissing, but they keep winding up in each other's arms. Now, if you watch the spoiler for next week, they're going to end up in an intimate situation again, but so is Allie and Alex. But Allie doesn't trust Chanel, because she's like, oh my, you're always around my brother. Why are you always around him? And then y'all almost kiss. I'm going through a hard time. I lost my grandmothers too, not just Johnny. And so she's turning to Alex, but it's really more as a friend at this point. It's more as a friend, but she's turning to him in comfort. So it's all a mess. But at the end of the day, I think Johnny and Chanel end up being back together because they never got a chance to make their marriage work. I think Allie and Alex will be together, and then Wendy will end up with Trip. That's just what I think is going to end up happening. And then the next couple we go to in this, once Trip, it's not even a triangle really. Xander was married to Sarah, who's on the left, and then there was always Gwen, who helped Xander with like his kidnapping, because that's why Sarah doesn't want to be with Xander. It was like, you went too far. He told her he was a changed man, he was doing better, but then he kidnapped Susan and Bonnie, and she's just like, I don't want to be with you if that's the kind of life that you're living. And so because of that, she said, let's file these divorce papers. I want a divorce. I don't want to be with you. And so he tried to fight it. He tried to get her to stay with him, but then he finally gave up and he signed the papers. So once he signed the papers, he got with Sarah, right? And he got with Gwen, who's on the right. And yes, but he got with her the same night he signed his papers. And so the next morning, Sarah is going through Horton Square, and she runs into them, and Gwen lets it be known that, oh, Xander already invited me into his bed, because Sarah shouldn't have stopped. She should have just kept going, but she stopped, and she was like, oh, I'm sure you're going to be trying to get into Xander's bed. And Gwen was like, oh, he already invited me, and I don't have to worm my way in. I don't have to try to fight to get in. He let me in. And so Xander and Gwen are really just rubbing this in Sarah's face, like that, that they're together. And Sarah's disappointed in that, because if you know the history between them, Gwen has done some terrible things to Sarah. And she gave her the serum for a second time. It could have left her brain damage. She put on a Ceramax to pretend that she put on Sarah mask to pretend that she was Sarah to break up with Xander. She went to Abigail's house in the Sarah mask, and when Sarah was being they thought Sarah had killed Abigail. Gwen didn't step up and step forward and say, hey, no, that's not true. And so Sarah is disappointed that of all the women, all the people that Xander could be with, why would you choose Sarah? Well, I mean, that's Xander. And so Xander is just like, you know the type of man I am. You knew how I was. And me being with Gwen now is none of your business because you divorced me, which is true, but it's still like, dude, you didn't have to go and get with that person. But I don't know, y'all. So they're together now, and Xander and Gwen are just like, at this point, they're just like, I don't want to have to feel like I'm a bad person for being who I am. So Gwen and Xander have made this pact that we're just gonna be who we are, and that's it. Then we go over here to the next storyline, which is Gabby, Stefan, and Chloe. So you know Gabby knocked Stefan out, right? And so once she knocked him out, she told him, so once she knocked him out, she was pretty much just like, she put him down in the wine cellar, and she's like, you're gonna remember that you love me, because that's her whole thing, right? I want you to remember that you love me. So once he remembers that so she gets Dr. Rolf to come to try to shock his brain and everything, and that's what he does. But unfortunately for Gabby, he remembers his love for Gabby because Dr. Rolf told him, you remember that you had that love, but the machine breaks down, right? So he wasn't able to remove the love that they put in his brain, Stefan's brain, for Chloe. So now he's in love with both women, and he's like, oh, I love you both. Aren't I a lucky man? It's like, sir, you cannot have these two women. What are you talking about? You can't have them both. You have to choose. So now Gabby has to fight. But honestly, I'm like, she really doesn't have to fight, because Chloe was coming over to the house to tell Stefan she didn't want to be with him because Chloe's confused. She broke up with Brady thinking that he wanted to be with Kristen or something was going on. And now she finds out Brady was blackmailed. So now she's confused because she slept with Stefan, but she was still in love with Brady, but she's having some type of feelings for Stefan. It's not quite love. But Stefan loves Gabby and Chloe because one, he loves Gabby naturally. Chloe, he was kind of brainwashed into loving. So we'll see where that goes, guys. And especially with Lee in the mix, because remember, Gabby's still married to Lee, and he's not so willing to let her go like that. So then we see, what's up, mama? So then we see Chad, Stephanie, as well as Alex. And this storyline is one of my favorites because I like Alex. But I don't like, okay, so Stephanie was with, she wanted to, Chad was married to Abigail, excuse me. And he lost Abigail. And so he kept saying, I'm not ready to move on because it was soon. But Stephanie and Alex, because she knew Chad couldn't be with her, who she really wanted to, Alex was pursuing her, and she went ahead and said, you know what, I'm gonna be with him. That's fine. I'm just gonna be with him. So she got with Alex, and on the night that they slept with each other for the first time, he turned her phone off because Chad kept bothering him. He was always calling, he was always texting, he was always around them. So Alex just wanted a night by himself with Stephanie. So he turned her phone off. Unfortunately, Chad was calling because her mother was in the hospital dying. So she didn't get to say goodbye to her mother. So of course she was mad at Alex about that. And so she broke up with him. She's done with him. And but Alex, he wrote this heartfelt letter to try to get her back, and he gave her flowers. But at that time, Chad had spoke to Jack, and it made him feel better about, oh, you don't have a time frame on when you can move on. 6 months is enough. So he went over to Stephanie's, and he just was telling her, I want to be with you. And she was like, yes, yes. I wouldn't even, what I heard was I wouldn't even got in this relationship with Alex if I had known you wanted to be with me like this. That's what I heard. And so because of that, she goes ahead and she's with she's with Alex. Excuse me, she's with Chad, and Alex comes over because he had this heartfelt letter and these flowers, and he sees her because the door. I don't know, child. The door was left. Who leaves their front door open? But the front door was left open, so he sees them and he leaves. And then Stephanie ends up sleeping with Alex. Excuse me, with Chad, while Alex is gone. And then later on, Chad sees Alex in the park because they're all both walking, and they walk past each other. But Alex stops Chad and he just says, "It looks like you're in the same clothes. You spent the night." And Chad was like, "What? You got a problem with me or something?" And Alex was like, "No, I just you're a lucky man." And he walks off. And I love the way Alex handled that because they're always saying his character is entitled, he's selfish, he's arrogant, he's all these things. But in this, he was none of that. He really did pursue Stephanie because he really did want to be with her and he liked her. And that's what you're supposed to do. If you like someone, you're supposed to give them a flower, like, "Hey, will you go out with me?" And once she told him no, and she was like, "No, I don't want to be with you," he did leave her alone. And then when he got the paperwork that Paulina was needing, she gave him a chance. Plus, she heard Chad say like twice, "I don't want to be with her." And then because Alex was confronting Chad, like, "Do you want to be with Stephanie?" And he kept telling him, "No, no, 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 I don't want to be with her. I don't want to be with her." So because of that, he was like, "Well, okay, then I'm gonna pursue her." And so finally, when they did get together, it wasn't actually because Alex was chasing her down. She was actually the one that told him, "Let's go out for a drink." And so then they started to date. So I like the fact that Alex was just like, "Listen, at the end of the day, she didn't choose me. You got her, and you're a lucky man." And he goes on about his business. But Stephanie has read this letter that Alex left for her, so I don't think it's going to be as simple as they were thinking it was going to turn out to be. Here, Mama. Here. I don't think it's going to work out as simple as it turns out to be, but I don't know. We'll see. And that was Days of Our Lives, guys. Let's see. And then the final soap is The Young and the Restless. Here. The Young and the Restless. So on this with this soap, we start off with Diane, Summer, Kyle, and Jack. So we have them all together. All right, okay. So some Diane and Jack are now in their relationship, right? So they're going to be a couple again. They're going to be a couple again. They he's stole Nikki's jewelry for her. He's forgiven her for leaving him with Kyle, like pretending to be dead. Jack has just forgiven her for everything, and he wants to be with her again, right? But Kyle is upset about it because he was like, "Who did you come to see? Did you come to see me, or did you come to see? Did you come to see? Did you want to be with me, or did you only? Are you only with me because you want to be with Jack? Like, did you come to town for me?" And Diana's telling him, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course it was for you, but I've said from the very beginning, she came to town to be with Jack, and Kyle was just a bonus." Now this is causing problems in Summer and Kyle's marriage because they stole a necklace from her grandmother. His mother is always lying. They have strong feelings about her mother, and she's having to bury all of her feelings. So she's upset about this whole thing. But as of right now, there's nothing else to tell in this storyline. And Jack are working toward their relationship. Sometimes she seems hesitant about it, but she tells them like all her secrets are out. There's nothing else. But they both, well, Kyle still says, "I feel like there's another shoe that has to drop." And Jack is like, "I'm protecting myself, but your mother is a changed woman." And we're going to see what happens with that. Nate and Victoria. Honestly, Elena just needs to give up the ghost when it comes to Nate because um the type of man that Nate has become, the way they've changed his character, he actually does match better with Victoria than he would with Elena, because Elena, when he was with Elena, it was like Nate was just this good guy who couldn't believe what Ashley and Locke had done and everything, and he would never have turned on his family to try to, be head in charge. But as soon as he went into the business world, Nate is a completely different character. And I believe he and Victoria, their relationship is growing closer, and I think eventually he's going to leave Elena for Victoria. And that, that just is what it is. So then we have Sally, Nick to, y'all know Nick to the left, Adam to the right. So Sally she was dating Adam, right? And he did it wrong, because he left the company. He was mad at his father and them, and he wanted revenge. He didn't want her to get caught up in it, so he broke up with her. But he was kind of cruel in the way he did it. He was real cruel. He was calling her pathetic because she was begging him to come back, and he was like, "Oh, stop being pathetic. Oh my gosh, leave me alone." And it was mean. He was really mean to her. So she moved on. She moved on with his brother, and I was like, I didn't see that coming, but she did. She moved on with Nick. And so now, Adam then he started wanting to try to win her back. And so she had a weak moment. I guess you'll call it a weak moment. And she ended up sleeping with Adam, y'all. And now she's pregnant. So she doesn't know who the father is. Finally, she told Nick on Friday that this baby could possibly be Adam's as well. Right now, Adam doesn't know, but he's figuring it out. They're saying he's supposed to, finally figure it out. So Sally is in this predicament where she's in this relationship with Nick, but the baby is probably Adam's. Honestly, the baby is probably Adam's just because she's in the relationship with Nick. But she doesn't want the baby to be Adam's. She wants it to be Nick's, right? Because she's liking how healthy her relationship is with Nick compared to what it was with Adam. But I don't know. I hate this storyline. I hate that she's pregnant this way, especially because she gave Chelsea hell about, all you are to Adam is the mother of his child. Y'all don't have a relationship. Y'all don't have this and that. That's when she was with Adam. She gave Chelsea hell, and now she's in the position where she wants to move on from Adam, and she can't because she could possibly be having his child as well. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. This storyline happened to be my favorite. Like, Young and the Restless is like one of those soaps that they never go into. They don't have like 8, 9, 10 episodes. For me personally, it never gets to 8, 9, or 10. It's always they always kind of float at a 6 or 7. But their audience, they have a very loyal fan base, and they love it. This is the only storyline that I'm really interested in, just because Devon had his company with Neil Hamilton Winters, and now he merged with Lily Chancellor, and so it became Chancellor Winters. But their company has been, 2 people have tried to take over their company, and he's just like, I don't want to be merged anymore. I'm like, because they want to go public, he does not. So he's like, just give me my company back. And they're like, no, you can have the name, but and we'll pay you, buy you out, but we're not giving your company back. And he was like, well, I don't want the name, I want the company. But they're telling him no. So he's just like, okay, well, they're going to go to court for this. They're going to fight it out in court and do all of that so that he can have his company back, right? And so Lily is just like, I just want to work with my brother. I don't want you to do this. And he was like, no, because if you really cared about me, you just give me my company back and let it be what it is. Because Jill and Lily are like, what about the money? We're set to make a lot of money between us. And he's just like, I don't care about the money. I just want the company that I worked with, with my dad. I just want that back. And everyone could see, if you watch Young and the Restless, that he was going to regret this merger. We knew he was going to regret it. Because it was just too much stuff. They've had too many people. Like, this company is a mess. And it started out at the summertime. The Newmans were all in a mess over there, but Hamilton Winters was like coasting. They were doing such a great job. But now it's just a complete mess. So then we go over here to Jack, Kyle, Victor, and Adam. So, Adam is Victor's son, and he's working for Jack right now. Kyle hates Adam. He hates Adam. This is for those who don't, watch the soap. He hates Adam. So Victor is like, okay, I want Adam to work for me. So what I'm going to do is team up with Kyle, and we're going to get Adam fired, right? And from Jabot. And then once I get him fired, I'm going to take over this company I'm trying to buy out, and I'm going to give it to Adam, so that therefore, once he gets fired, he's going to have to work somewhere. He's going to be flat on his luck. Like Victor wants him to fall down on his face. And so then he'll have to come back to me. And once he comes back to me, then I can help him. Like I'll give him this company and he'll be back in the family. That is horrible parenting. It is the worst parenting. And I know Victor has like loyal fans because they've been, they watch the soap forever. But I'm like, oh my gosh, that is like, who does that? Who does that as a parent? Hi, Lorna. Thank you so much for joining. Who does that as a parent? Like that is horrible. But that's what he wants to do. Now, Summer has told Kyle, don't get involved with my granddad because that's our granddad. Jack found out what they were trying to do, and he told Kyle, leave this alone. Like, don't be a part of anything that would make him upset. Kyle is like, no, I'm not gonna do it, but they are gonna do it. And this week it was supposed to come to a head, but it didn't. Like, well, I guess it did. But I'm dramatic, so I like it to be dramatic when they do this. But it was just cool. But this week Jack is supposed to go off on Kyle again because he finds out Kyle did something else to try to sabotage Adam as far as getting him to leave the company. And then we have Tucker, who is supposed to be a billionaire, but apparently he has all this debt now. And he was the one person that could go up against the Newmans, but now they're trying to buy his company, and that's the company Victor wants to give Adam. I don't know how all of this will work out because Adam does say, because he was talking to Chelsea, he was like, if it was good enough, I probably would, because he does hate working at Jabot, but he doesn't want to admit that to Victor. But he was like, if it was good enough. Now, Tucker is trying to work with Devon and Ashley, and he's trying to buy Daniel's gaming. So I don't know if it's going to work out with Tucker or not, because some of the spoilers say Tucker is just making it look like he's broke. So I don't know if this man is broke or not, but we shall see, guys. And y'all, that was, let me pull this back up. That was the recap of the soaps, my favorite soaps for the week and everything. Don't forget, tomorrow I will be doing spoilers. It will just be a regular video. I had so much trouble today trying to go live. It was ridiculous. It was really ridiculous. So thank you for the people who actually ended up getting to watch and join. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Remember, if you are a GH watcher, General Hospital watcher, and you want to join the panel, let me know so that I can put you on when we go live over the Portia and Curtis wedding. We'll be doing live reviews. It won't just be a recorded review. It'll actually be going live. So let me know so I can send you the link, and or I'll just put the link in chat. And if anyone wants to come up and share their thoughts on that, we can do that on that live review for General Hospital. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Be safe, be blessed, and I will see you Monday for all new editions of What Happened on the Soaps. Thank you again for watching. Goodbye.